The universe has a skeleton. And it's alive with the most violent, most beautiful architecture ever discovered. Right now, as you watch this, you are sitting inside a single node of a structure so incomprehensibly massive that every galaxy, every star, every planet that has ever existed is just a tiny bead threaded onto its web. Fact number 1. The cosmic web is the largest known structure in the entire universe. And it stretches across 93 billion light-years. Let that number land for a second. 93 billion light-years. That is the observable universe. And the cosmic web fills every inch of it. Astronomers first confirmed its large-scale structure in the 1980s through the CFA Redshift survey, led by Margaret Geller and John Huchra at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. What they mapped revealed something nobody expected. Galaxies are not scattered randomly through space. They are arranged into an intricate, three-dimensional web of filaments, walls, and nodes, all separated by enormous empty voids. Think of a giant cosmic spider web soaked in dew, where each droplet of water is an entire galaxy cluster containing hundreds of billions of stars. The web itself contains an estimated 2 trillion galaxies, a number revised upward by a factor of 10 from previous estimates in a 2016 study published in A Astrophysical Journal by Christopher Consolis at the University of Nottingham. 2 trillion galaxies, all organized by invisible forces into a single, universe-spanning lattice. And we are just now beginning to understand it. Visual note. Display a color-coded 3D redshift survey map showing galaxy distribution filaments. Use blue for voids, amber for filaments, white for nodes. Source: 2 Decifarads Galaxy Redshift Survey or Sloan Digital Sky Survey Data Visualization. Fact number 2. The biggest single structure inside the cosmic web is so large, it breaks a law of physics, the cosmological principle. In 2021, a team of astronomers led by Alexia Lopez at the University of Central Lancashire discovered something that should not exist. They called it the Giant Arc, a curved structure of galaxies, gas, dust, and clusters spanning approximately 3.3 billion light-years across. To put that in scale, if the Milky Way galaxy were the size of a grain of sand, the giant arc would be the size of a football field. Now here is the problem. The cosmological principle, one of the foundational assumptions of modern physics and cosmology, states that when you zoom out far enough, the universe should look roughly the same in all directions. Smooth and uniform. Structures should not exist at a scale larger than about 1.2 billion light-years. The giant arc is nearly 3 times that limit. It does not just push the boundary, it demolishes it. And the giant arc is not even alone. The Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, discovered in 2013 and later refined in 2015, spans an estimated 10 billion light-years, making it the single largest known structure in the observable universe. These mega-structures have cosmologists genuinely worried that our entire model of the universe may need to be rebuilt from scratch. Visual note. Infographic comparing scale. Show a side-by-side size chart. Milky Way, Local Group, Laniakea Supercluster, Giant Arc, Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, with a scale bar in light-years. Fact number 3. The cosmic web is mostly made of something we have never directly detected. Ever. Here is the part that should genuinely unsettle you. The filaments of the cosmic web, the threads that hold 2 trillion galaxies together, are not made of stars, gas, or anything we can see. Approximately 85% of the mass in the cosmic web is dark matter. Not dark matter in a metaphorical, vague sense, Dark matter in the sense of, we know it exists because of its gravitational effects. We have mapped its distribution with gravitational lensing surveys like the Kilo-degree survey, published in 2021. And yet, after decades of experiments, including the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, the XENON-1T detector buried under a mountain in Italy, and NASA's Fermi Gamma Ray Space Telescope, we have detected exactly 0 dark matter particles directly. 0. The skeleton of the universe is made of something we cannot see, cannot touch, and cannot explain with any confirmed particle in our standard model of physics. The cosmic web is, at its core, a map of the invisible. And we are just guessing at what the invisible actually is. Visual note. Show a side-by-side comparison diagram. Left panel shows galaxy distribution in a simulation. Right panel overlays dark matter density map in purple. Sourced from the Illustris TNG cosmological simulation. Publicly available. Fact number 4. Filaments of the cosmic web are hotter than you can imagine. And we only just found them in 2020. For decades, cosmologists ran into what they called the missing baryon problem. According to the Big Bang model, the universe should contain a specific amount of ordinary matter. Protons, neutrons, atoms, the stuff that makes up you and me and every star. But when scientists counted all the visible matter in galaxies and gas clouds, they could only account for about half of what should be there. Where was the other half? In 2020, a landmark study published in Astronomy and Astrophysics by Hideki Tanemura and collaborators finally confirmed the answer. The missing matter is sitting inside the filaments of the cosmic web, in a phase of matter called the warm hot intergalactic medium, or WIM. This gas is incredibly thin, less than 1 atom per cubic meter. But it is superheated to temperatures between 100,000 and 10 million degrees Kelvin. For comparison, the surface of the Sun sits at about 5,778 Kelvin. The filaments of the cosmic web are up to 1,700 times hotter than the surface of the Sun. Invisible to optical telescopes, detectable only in X-ray and ultraviolet wavelengths. And they contain roughly half of all the ordinary matter in the entire universe. Half of everything was hiding in plain sight. We just needed the right eyes to see it. Visual note. Display a spectrum diagram showing electromagnetic wavelengths, highlighting the X-ray and UV band where WIM filaments are detectable. Overlay with a color gradient temperature scale chart in Kelvin. Fact number 5. The cosmic web was predicted by a computer simulation before we could even see it in real space. In 1985, a full decade before the Hubble Space Telescope delivered its first deep field image, a team of physicists ran a simulation called the Cosmic Ballet on a supercomputer at Los Alamos National Laboratory. The simulation modeled how dark matter and gravity would shape matter over billions of years. Starting from the nearly smooth conditions of the early universe, the output was staggering. A web, filaments, nodes, voids. The exact architecture we now call the cosmic web appeared spontaneously from the math alone, before a single filament had been observationally confirmed. Fast forward to 2012, and the Illustris simulation, run on some of the most powerful supercomputers in the world, modeled 12 billion light-years of the universe, tracking 12 billion particles simultaneously. Its output matched the real universe with stunning accuracy. The cosmic web is not a discovery we stumbled upon. It was a prediction. The equations knew the answer before the telescopes did. That means our mathematical models of gravity and dark matter are capturing something profoundly real about the universe's underlying code. The universe appears, at large scales, to to be almost entirely deterministic. A machine running a program we are only beginning to read. Visual note. Split screen comparison. Left shows a frame from the Illustris TNG simulation. Publicly available render. Right shows the actual 2 decifarad's Galaxy Redshift Survey observational data map. Label both clearly. Fact number 6. There are supervoids in the cosmic web so empty. They are colder than the cosmic microwave background. And one is 1.8 billion light-years wide. Between the filaments of the cosmic web lie the voids. Regions of space almost entirely empty of galaxies, gas, and matter. But the Bootes void, discovered in 1981 by Robert Kirshner and colleagues at Harvard, and the supervoid discovered in 2015 by Istvan Spudi's team at the University of Hawaii, take emptiness to a level that should be physically impossible. The 2015 supervoid, technically designated as the CMB cold spot supervoid, spans approximately 1.8 billion light-years across. Inside this void, the density of matter is about 20% lower than the cosmic average. That alone is remarkable. But here is the wild part. This void leaves a measurable cold imprint on the cosmic microwave background radiation. The afterglow of the Big Bang. When photons of light travel through a supervoid, they lose energy due to a phenomenon called the integrated Sachs-Wolfe effect. Arriving at our detectors slightly cooler than photons that travel through denser regions. This supervoid creates a cold spot in the sky roughly 0.00015 degrees Celsius colder than its surroundings. A faint, ghostly fingerprint of a billion light-year emptiness pressed into the very first light of a universe. Some cosmologists, including Laura Massini-Horton at the University of North Carolina, have proposed that the CMB cold spot might actually be evidence of another universe pressing against our own, a bubble collision in the multiverse. That hypothesis remains contested, but the supervoid is absolutely real. Visual note. Show a Planck satellite CMB temperature map infographic with the cold spot circled and labeled. Include a size comparison scale bar showing the supervoid's 1.8 billion light-year span against other cosmic structures. Fact number 7. The cosmic web looks identical to a human brain, and the math that describes both is nearly the same. In 2020, astrophysicist Franco Vazzer at the University of Bologna and neuroscientist Alberto Felletti at the University of Verona published a study in Frontiers in Physics comparing the cosmic web to the human cerebral cortex. The results were astonishing. The cosmic web contains approximately 100 billion galaxies, roughly equal to the 100 billion neurons in a human brain. Both systems self-organize into networks where nodes cluster and connect via thin filaments. Both occupy roughly the same percentage of their total volume as active structure, about 30%, with the remainder being empty space. And critically, the spectral density analysis, a mathematical technique that measures how information or matter is distributed across different scales, produced curves so similar between the two systems that the researchers initially double-checked their calculations, the clustering coefficient, the degree distribution, the ratio of nodes to connectors, all nearly identical. Now, does this mean the universe is conscious? Almost certainly not, at least not in any way current physics can support. But it does mean that the same underlying mathematical principles, the physics of gravity and the biology of neural development, independently converge on the same optimal architecture for complex networks, the most efficient structure for moving energy and information across vast scales is apparently a web, and the universe and the human brain both figured that out. Visual note. Side-by-side academic comparison panel. Left. A labeled diagram of human cortical neuron network. Sourced from open neuroscience databases. Right. A cosmic web filament simulation node. Place spectral density comparison chart below both panels. Fact number 8. The cosmic web is slowly dying. And in 100 billion years, it will be gone forever. This is the fact that keeps cosmologists up at night. The cosmic web is not a static structure. It is evolving. And the direction it is evolving is toward complete dissolution. Here is why. Dark energy, the mysterious force making up approximately 68% of the total energy content of the universe, is causing the universe to expand at an accelerating rate. This was confirmed in 1998 by Saul Perlmutter, Brian Schmidt, and Adam Rees, work for which they were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2011. As the universe expands faster and faster, the filaments of the cosmic web are being stretched and thinned. Galaxy clusters that are currently gravitationally bound together will remain intact. The Milky Way and Andromeda will actually merge in about 4.5 billion years to form a galaxy astronomers have nicknamed Milkomeda. But the large-scale filaments connecting superclusters, they are already fraying. In approximately 100 billion years, roughly 7 times the current age of the universe, the expansion of space will have pulled everything so far apart that any civilization still existing would look out into a sky of total darkness. No visible galaxies beyond their own. No cosmic web. No way to even know it ever existed. Every piece of evidence that the universe was once this breathtaking, interconnected, web-spanning architecture will be cosmologically erased. We are alive at what may be the only brief window in the universe's history when the cosmic web can be seen, studied, and marveled at, and most people have never even heard of it. Until right now. Visual note. Display a timeline infographic. From the Big Bang at left. Through the present day marked with a "you are here" indicator. Extending to the 100 billion year dissolution point at right. Use a gradient from bright amber. Dense web. Fading to black. Empty universe. The universe is not empty. It is not random. It is a web. Vast. Ancient. Invisible. And alive with forces we are only beginning to name. And you, every atom of you, is part of it. Subscribe to Moonlit Minds for daily mind-blowing facts that will change how you see the world.